midfield, number 30, Syracuse Lindsay. At midfield, number 31, Alan Kedek. At midfield, number 39, Landon Tarantino. At midfield, number 56, Ethan Sanderson. On defense, number 5, Michael Lantry. On defense, number 18, Aiden Day. On defense, number 23, Dylan Killian. On defense, number 32, Derek Bradley. And starting in goal for Syracuse FC, number 50, Jordan Ott. The head coach of Syracuse FC is Jaro Zelisland. The assistant coach is Mohammed Kedek and Jasminka Kedek. And now the starting lineup for your 2025 Great Lakes Conference regular season champion, Flower City Union. And forward, number 7, Miles Palmer. And forward, number 28, Rodrigo Almeida. At midfield, number 4, Nate Masucci. At midfield, number 11, Nick Rippey. At midfield, number 20, Gavin Egan. At midfield, number 21, Hato Ikune. At midfield, number 23, Chase Alexander. On defense, number 6, Matt Bamford. On defense, number 13, Xavier Ehrlich. On defense, number 15, Ryan Brown. And starting goal here at Flower City Union, number 0, Christian Burkhardt. Head coach of Flower City Union, Jordan Sullivan. Assistant coaches, Antonio Lagamba and Ibrahim Kabinzek. The goalkeeping coach is Marcelo Herrera. And now, ladies and gentlemen, this time we ask you all to please rise. Kindly remove your hats and face the flag to the left of the scoreboard as we honor America and our brave men and women serving the United States military, both across the country and around the world, with the playing of our national anthem.
Beautiful evening for the beautiful game, and frankly, folks, any night we're playing soccer is a beautiful night. We got a pretty one here in downtown Rochester, New York. You are looking at the Rochester Community Sports Complex, the home of the 2025 Great Lakes Conference champion, Flower City Union, the 1 seed, heading into next week's playoffs. But not so fast. We got the regular season finisher right here. Flower City Union hosting Syracuse FC. I am Bill Smith, your pregame, play-by-play, color, postgame master of ceremonies. I wear all of the hats. My neck is very strong, and I'm looking forward to this one. I got to chat with both coaches this afternoon for a little while, talking about both teams, and I'm going to just throughout the broadcast, I'm sure, just drop in just snippets of the pride that both of these men have for the young men that they are coaching here. But chatting about this particular game, you've got Flower City, the number 1 seed, heading into the playoffs. Now, we'll talk about playoff scenarios and things. There's different things that are going to shake out. There's 3 games going on tonight in the Great Lakes Conference that will impact who plays who next week in the first round of the playoffs. We'll get into all of that. But here you've got Flower City in the 1 seed, and you've got Syracuse FC at the bottom of the table, 8th place out of 8, 0-1-8 on the season. But numbers, as always, and people that know sports, people that know this great game of soccer, numbers can be deceiving. This is a Syracuse team that is growing. This is a Syracuse team that is getting better game to game. They've challenged opponents at different places. They've had close games. They haven't gotten the finishes they've wanted. I mean that in terms of results, game results, wins and losses, but a coach that is incredibly proud of his team. Coach Zavislin, we were talking just before I came upstairs, and he talked about just how proud he is of this group, the staff they put together, the young kids that they've got working with some of the veterans, and that chemistry. And one of the things that's kind of a theme for the Syracuse team that Rochester Flower City is very aware of is this is a very young team. Coach Yarrow, who I was talking to, he says there's no question we're the youngest team in this conference. It's entirely possible that they're the youngest team in the entirety of NPSL, and that's a lot of conferences, that's a lot of regions, that's a lot of teams. There are a number of 16-year-olds on this roster, and a couple of them in the lineup today. On the flip side, Flower City Union are coming off of 2 big shutouts. Keeper Christian Burkhart wearing the 0. Love the 0. Shout out to all zeros out there at 0-0-0 on the clock. Christian Burkhart, pair of clean sheets the last 2 games. Flower City coming off of 2 consecutive shutouts. And 2 games ago, a week ago, 6 days ago, this Syracuse FC team dropped one to Flower City 5-0 in a game where Flower City was all over Syracuse from start to finish. Ifune and Palmer, 2 dangerous players that afternoon, both finding the back of the net, both in the lineup here today for Flower City among the starting 11. And Flower City will look to build off of that momentum. Talking with Coach Sullivan today, they're not looking past Syracuse, and he said that would be a dangerous thing to do. There's a well-coached team, there's talent up and down this lineup, and he's talking about how they mentally will be treating this team like a top team. They're mentally going to treat this game like they're in the playoffs next week. Try to be sharp, try to stay as clean as they can, get things moving and get things set for next week as when they do start the playoffs. Nick Rippey will send one off for Nate Masucci. He will get one in. This ball is going to work into space down for Egan. Egan trying to work inside. Now some dancing and positioning going on here. Egan's got another look at it, trying to get one past Zanamo. Zanamo dragging. He brings Masucci down, or almost down, I should say. The foul is called, and this will be a free kick for Flower City. Your starters for the Union up, this Union crew. Christian Burkhart gets a start in goal, again, coming off of a pair of shutouts. He's got Nate Masucci, Matt Bamford, Miles Palmer, Nick Rippey, Xavier Ellish, Ryan Brown, Gavin Egan, Hato Ifune, Chase Alexander, and franchise leading scorer and season leading scorer Rodrigo Gomez, De Almeida. That rounds out Flower City's lineup today as the white and lilac clad team will look for this free kick. Ball to the net, and this is going to just sail wide. Good eyes on that one from Jordan Ott, the Cortland senior. The record says 0-1-8, or 0-8-1, correction. But Jordan Ott having a real nice season, good numbers for this Syracuse team. It's a team that has lost a bunch of games, but they've not lost by a lot. So this is Ott has been, in his coach's words, very steady. He's been a bright spot for this team this season. He reads that one well as it goes wide. Bounding ball heads out of play, middle of the pitch. Flower City will come right away and get things going with Almeida sending it off. And now Egan's going to look to push it up the right wing. Alexander's going to try to battle inside. Aiden Day will let that one just kind of trickle past the end line. And we'll get our second look at a goal kick for Jordan Ott. Opposite side for Syracuse. Jordan Ott will wear the 50 in green. He will get this kick right here. You get a look at him. Michael Lantry, Jay Ellis, Corey Zanamo, Aiden Day, Sam Rotblatt, Dylan Killian, Syracuse Lindsay, Alan Kotic, Derek Radley, Landon Tarantino, Jordan Ott, I already mentioned him, Ethan Sanderson. There's your lineup and some contributors we're going to see today. Syracuse on a transition, looking to get inside. Lindsay to the net, left foot doesn't really get on target. This is going to go past the end line. We're going to get our first look at Christian Burkhardt. He'll get a goal kick here. Syracuse Lindsay, and this is, I was talking with the coaching staff for Syracuse, Yaro Zavislan, and a couple of folks down on his sideline. Number of injuries and just issues with some travel here today. The only goal on Syracuse's season that is in today's lineup, courtesy of Syracuse Lindsay. All the team's goal scorers, the rest of the team's goal scorers, I should say, not in the lineup today. Lindsay, though, a dangerous player and had an opportunity at the other end moments ago as he falls backwards here trying to control. Alexander will touch for Flower City. Now, Gomez de Almeida will try to battle through for this one. This will get back to the Syracuse backs, and they will send one out of there. Little shove into the back of Flower City's Ryan Fitzgerald. Far side of my position, Flower City attacking. Flower City will work it back through their backs. Right foot, this ball is getting close to the net, and a header's gonna come, and this is gonna just bounce out of play. This is gonna be a Flower City ball. Almeida had a chance to sort of get into one. Throw will come from Ryan Fitzgerald. And a shot to the net, header not connecting. Ball still bouncing in front of Ott. He's gonna just reach out and take it. Chance for Flower City comes up dry right there. Ott seeing it. Here's Tajay Ellis. Ellis is gonna try to come up that left wing. He's working against Fitzgerald. Ellis. Dribbles, little dance move, trying to now work against a pair of players, and this is gonna trickle toward Burkhardt. Is gonna get popped out of there. Flower City will look to counter here. Slow counterattack developing with Gavin Egan. He's gonna work it across to Masucci. Hato Ifune had a goal against Syracuse a week ago. Egan once again. As Alexander to his right, turns to his left and finds Masucci. Palmer is going to look to attack on that left flank. This is going to get just batted out of there. 6:10 on your clock there. Has expired. Good time to mention the beautiful weather here in Rochester. The 6:10 mark. Always a good time. Egan, right foot to the net, is going to slide left of Ott. So the possession here, certainly to this point in Flower City's favor. Here's a look at the Egan shot. Right foot and rockets one just left of the frame. Possession numbers definitely in Flower City's favor, but scoring chances at this point here really one apiece. Almeida working against the defender, trying to work it inside to Alexander. That bounced off of a maroon shirt, but here's Rodrigo Gomez de Almeida. Alexander inside, working against Lantry. Gets all the way to the end line. That did cross. And this will be a goal kick for Ott. Jordan Ott, originally out of Fort Worth, Texas, found his way to the East Coast, now playing as a Cortland Dragon. Tonight playing with Syracuse FC, making sure we get into all of our specifics here. A little bit of a breeze here on this night where the temperature approached 90 earlier before game time. As the sun starts to set, this is going to get dropped into the 80s, I would assume. That breeze, lovely up here in our outdoor press box position. Great vantage point here at the Community Sports Complex here in downtown Rochester. Flower City Union and Syracuse FC currently knotted at 0-0, your score here at the 8-minute mark. Last game of the regular season playoffs get started next week. Flower City has clinched that #1 seed. Mentioned the different playoff scenarios. Pair of games going on in the league tonight will contribute to that. As Efune comes up, left foot into the box. Palmer's down there, but this actually gets knocked down by a defender. That one off of Aiden Day, and his left foot will put it on Ott's hands. Ott will get it out of there. Mentioned the combination of Efune and Palmer, both in the starting lineup. They were just all over the pitch last Sunday against Syracuse, just flying both of them up and down, contributing early in the score in that one. A 5-0 win for Flower City. Efune scoring in the 9th minute, Palmer in the 18th minute, and Flower City didn't look back from there. Masucci scores a couple. Baraka throws one in as well. He probably kicked it in. I don't think he threw it in. Burkhart gets a clean sheet. Here's Palmer. Gonna work it back. Midfielders pinched way in. Flower City right now pushing to the net. Egan header, score! The setup was great. The header was great. The goal home. Flower City leads 1-0. Just mentioning Flower City pushing right here. Here's Palmer. This lob right where Egan can get a head into it and puts it past Ott. Ott looking perplexed there. Flower City had pushed and pushed. Syracuse had not given a link. Defensively, there wasn't a lot to work with. Palmer finds the exact spot to put that.
First goal coming in the 10th minute.
Egan scores in the Egan scores in the 10th minute. And now Flower City looking to come right back. Egan's second goal of the season. Palmer now is going to cross it over for Alexander. Alexander into a defender. Alexander's going to just let this roll into touch, give Flower City a sort of reset of a throw-in. 1-0 your score here, courtesy of the Gavin Egan header from a minute ago. Thrown ball caught by keeper Ott. Funny situations, those, in this sport, when a throw-in gets all the way to someone else who can use their hands. It is not often you see in this sport a ball handled by two consecutive people, both with their hands, but there you go. Ott will put a right foot into one and just bomb one downfield. This gets all the way into the backfield for Flower City, but Nick Rippey is going to look to come up that wing, working against Corey Zanamo. Zanamo, one of the experienced players here. He's working with a lot of youth, good leader for this team. He's part of Syracuse FC and their academy side, part of their management, part of their coaching staff. Egan, the goal scorer, trying to turn it inside for Almeida. He couldn't get around. Alan Katic will get that one out of there. Katic, coach singing his praises. Yaro Zavaslan saying how steady he's been. Speaking of steady, here comes Ellis up the right wing. Ellis, left foot into the box. This is going to skitter all the way over to Burkhart. Pair of forwards for this Syracuse team. Ellis, dangerous with the ball on his toe, as is Lindsay. We've seen both of them put shots on Burkhart so far. Flower City, though, holds that 1-0 advantage. Masucci will cross for Efune, who will put one now inside for Rippey. Rippey trying to turn. Rippey still inside. Rippey getting dangerously close to the net. This looks like it'll end up being a corner kick, and it will. So Flower City will get their first corner of the afternoon, evening, if you will. Right foot, liner toward the box. Header doesn't connect. Let me rephrase that. Dylan Killian's header connects as a defensive play. This is going to give us a second corner kick here. Flower City, that is. Palmer will look to put another right foot into one. Set piece coming here. Palmer, right foot in the air. Left foot down, right foot, drives it toward the box. Still up in the air, right foot, left foot to the pole. Doesn't go in. Got my left and right foot cross there. Bamford's left foot volley doesn't get there. Now here's another lobbing ball toward the box. Header, headed away. Bouncing ball doesn't get all the way through. Flower City with a lot of pressure here. Here's Fitzgerald trying to work around. Fitzgerald gets it out for Rippey. Rippey has switched sides here from left to right. Rippey into the box. This crosses across a lot of folks. Ifune, he will get it wide for Palmer. To the net, saved by Ott. Ott has been up to the task to this point. Palmer's gonna look to get inside. Shouting coming from Michael Lantry, but nonetheless, here's Palmer. Palmer, right foot, touch pass. Rippey trying to cross it for Almeida, doesn't get it there. This gets sent out by Dylan Killian, but returned right back by Matt Bamford. Bamford on a soft touch for Masucci. Masucci for Egan. Egan to Alexander. Flower City again working it up the field. Egan in a battle with Lindsay. This has been a fun one-on-one matchup so far. Egan or Alexander against Lindsay has been fun. Down for Palmer. Palmer, a little bit of room on the left wing. Defensively working against Rotblatt. This one will roll into touch delicately for Flower City to start again. Hato Wafune. Over for Masucci. Flower City again able to control this possession on the offensive third. Syracuse not bending. Defensively, no room here. Giving no room, I should say. Wafune lobbing one way up, but I believe this was offsides. Do see a flag in the air down there. Here's a look at the last corner kick. There's that header that put it up in the air, and there's that left foot off of Bamford. Ott will send that one long. Zanamo will head this backwards. This is gonna clear past Elish, who will let it go to Burkhart. Egan will look to attack up the right wing once again. Egan looking inside for Palmer. He's not gonna get all the way there, but he's gonna get another shot here. Landon Tarantino, one of the defenders there working against Egan a moment ago. One of the talented youth players for this Syracuse team. And I know I'm using that word in a game featuring a lot of young men playing this sport, but Tarantino, but 16 years old, product of their academy. And the Syracuse team plays here in NPSL. They also field a team in the UPSL. Tarantino on that side of things named to the team of the season in the Western New York East Division. So he's having a dynamite summer playing, representing Syracuse in a pair of different leagues. Ball all the way across for Palmer. Palmer's gonna have a hard time, but he makes the save over there, keeping that in bounds. Have a hard time. I should never doubt this man. Cross for Egan. Egan working against the aforementioned Tarantino. Here's Alexander. Flower City very patient here. This is going to skitter into touch behind Ott. He'll get another shot to send this one out for Syracuse. So the scenarios this evening, mentioned those a couple different times. There's 3 games on tonight's card, 3 matches, if you will. In the Great Lakes Conference, Flower City hosting Syracuse, Erie hosting Cleveland as we speak. We'll try to get an update on that one. And then an hour into start time, so 30 minutes from now, Buffalo Stallions will host Ambassadors FC out of the Buffalo area over in North Tonawanda. Syracuse looking to counterattack here, trying to generate something here as they get moving here with Aiden Day. Aiden Day battling with Afune. Egan comes through and takes it. Egan over the top, trying to find Palmer, throwing this into some real estate. Palmer's going to catch up to it. Does keep it in bounds. Nick Rippey now, corner of the box. Back for Afune, looking to generate a little bit of room. Pass finds Egan. Egan touches for Masucci, who'll work it back to his backs. Matt Bamford wearing that captain's stripe as per usual. Egan, right foot, bombs this one up over the net. Looking for his second of the afternoon. So again, that's your lineup for tonight. Flower City and Syracuse, Erie and Cleveland, Buffalo and Ambassadors out of Ohio. And all those games will factor into this. So there's a simple thing, if you want to call it that. If the Stallions defeat Ambassadors tonight, Flower City will in all likelihood host RNY in the 3rd Rochester Derby of the season here in the playoffs next Tuesday. If Ambassadors win that game, that win, as well as whoever wins Erie and Cleveland, that will decide any number of scenarios. As Alexander in the box, trying to slide that one across for Gomez de Almeida. Ott will take that. But all 3 games will contribute, so unless Ambassadors drop a final to the Stallions and Flower City will host RNY, so many different things with all of those aforementioned teams in the running. Ambassadors, Cleveland, Erie, RNY, all potential matchups for next week. So a lot of things will unfold this evening, and we'll have a better and clearer picture of that in the next few hours. Right now, though, trying to find a clear picture, Gomez de Almeida gets it down for Alexander, finds a little bit of space and gets it to Egan, who's got room to cross over Masucci. Rippey, Afune, right, lobbing ball toward the net and over. Flower City generating another chance, but some more bend, don't break defense from this Syracuse team. Here's another look at that last attempt. Afune edge, 18 yards away, just misses. Coach Zavitslin talking about, in his words, the big challenge of playing this team. They know they're the top of the table. They know they dropped one last week to this team. Looking to counter that. He did mention defending being a big high point, key point for tonight's game. Here's Palmer. Palmer working against Killian. Palmer, right foot, doesn't get it through. Killian now wins that individual battle, and he'll just send one wide and off into touch. Rippey will throw one in here for Flower City. Gomez de Almeida and Egan sniffing around the net, as is Alexander. Rippey wins a one-on-one battle, but a throw-in will come from Palmer. Palmer throws one past the official to Masucci. Egan's going to gently touch this one inside for Almeida. Almeida working against a few defenders, finds Afune. Afune lobbing ball to Egan, header, score! The second lobbing pass cross to Gavin Egan, and the second time Egan plants it home with his forehead. Header, second goal of the match, 2-0. Here's a look. Boom, right there. So 2-0 is your score. Gavin Egan has a pair. The teams have a hydration break. You get a hydration break. Go get something cold and frosty to drink. Come back. You are watching NPSL Soccer.
In the 23rd minute for your Union. This is a hydration break.
Back in downtown Rochester, it's a warm evening. The breeze is moving, though. Beautiful weather for the beautiful game. Here's a look at the last goal. Hato Ifune, lobbing ball header from Gavin Egan. Stop me if you've heard that one before. He buried a header on a lobbing ball from Miles Palmer earlier in the first half. And this goal comes in the 22nd minute, I believe that was. Egan now with a pair of goals. Two very similar looking plays. Had just got done a couple different times complimenting Syracuse defensively. Flower City's been applying a lot of pressure, has been in control possession-wise for a lot of this game, but there's been a very bend, don't break. Not a lot of alleys, not a lot of space to work with for Flower City once they've sort of gotten Syracuse back on their heels. Syracuse has done a really good job of sort of putting up that wall. But twice they've been able to lob one in for Gavin Egan to put home. There's a lobbing ball that gets sent away. Flower City continuing the pressure. Alexander's ball gets punted out. Egan crossing toward the box, touchdown by Alexander, but this gets sent away. Trying to get it into space and onto the foot of Tajay Ellis. Jay Ellis dangerous out there. The Oswego sophomore, third team All-SUNYAC this year. Right now he is the only one back looking to generate, looking to counter for the Syracuse team. He's definitely capable, as Egan here will work and play catch with Alexander. Will get one inside for Egan, defended real nicely. Aiden Day comes back. Aiden Day, a Syracuse FC Academy player. Flower City will get a corner here. Fun visual there of the ball girl backing up, visually looking like she'd take that corner kick. But Flower City's Miles Palmer will do the honors. Right hand up, left foot down, right foot into the ball, into the box, header to the net, saved by Ott. What a stop. Almeida was there looking to extend his franchise-leading goal record. Punted out of there by Ott. Dynamite save from the Syracuse keeper. Alexander fires one. This is going to end up as a goal kick for Ott. Here's a look at that last corner. There's the header, and there's the stop by Ott. Score says 2-0, but he has played very, very strong here this evening. He will bomb one out of there. Header from Egan. Said that a couple times tonight. Alexander can't quite maintain the touch line. Throwing ball looking to connect with Ellis. Ellis trying to box out and battle with Fitzgerald. Ball will head all the way back for Flower City's Xavier Elish. He will get it across, and Flower City look to put the pressure on one more time. Here is Miles Palmer. Palmer, the Roberts Wesleyan dynamo. Rodrigo Gomez de Almeida, left foot. Bounces up in the air. Ott's going to try to come out and punch that out of there. Ball is loose where Ott is. And a foul does happen, and there's head contact as the official is pointing that way. The official gave the signal that contact with the head had been made, and now we've got a Syracuse player down. Here's a look at what just transpired. This is up, and as Ott comes through, Ott sort of collides with his own defender there. Inadvertently, Ott had his eyes on the ball. Frankly, everybody did. Unfortunate collision there. So a pause here as the trainer tends to the Syracuse defender. In my conversation this afternoon with Coach Jordan Sullivan from Flower City, mentioned already how he's not talked, no one here is looking past the Syracuse team, not looking past Michael Lantry, who we do see sitting up here. Number of these, and you see this in this league, and I think I've said this a couple different times in broadcast this season. These are regional teams for the most part, so you see a lot of Syracuse area players on this team. Michael Lantry from West Hill High School in the Syracuse area, a Lemoyne grad. Some well-earned claps for that young man. Definitely shaken up and heading off with a little bit of help. We hope he's okay. But in talking with Coach Sullivan, not looking past this Syracuse team, definitely talked about staying tightened up, crisp passes. I think we've seen evidence of that one here tonight, not to take this team lightly. Mentioned a couple different times that the Syracuse team has a number of players that can finish. We've already seen a couple different chances from both Ellis and Lindsay, and some generating through the midfield. Seen some nice play so far from Tarantino and Zanamo. But Coach Sullivan talking about using tonight as a way to just stay steady, continue finishing chances. That's something they've been doing well the last chunk of time. The last pair of games have been shutout victories, clean sheets for Burkhart, but real nice offensive showings. Maintain that momentum. They've been, in his words, and this is something he's incredibly proud of, very clinical in front the last few games. Want to stay that way, take lots of chances. But what Coach Sullivan and Coach Zavaslan both talked about was how both of his teams have had moments, even more than moments, that maybe I'm using a word there that they didn't, of bonding. Both these coaches used that word to describe their team. There's been wonderful bonding in these short season pre-professional leagues. You get this spring season. A lot of players in this league coming from college. They're in their off season, or high school players getting an opportunity to play at a high level in the summertime. And both coaches talked about just the chemistry and the bonding that their two teams have had this May, June, now July campaign, and they're both really proud of that. And you could sort of hear it in both their voices. It was real fun talking to both of them this afternoon, as they are both looking to finish the regular season. Flower City rolling into next week with a playoff matchup to come, I should say. Here's Egan now. Play resuming here. Time ticking away in the 35th minute. 2-0 your score. Flower City, a pair of Gavin Egan goals, both on a pair of headers. Two real nice plays. As Afune looking to generate something else here. He set up the last one. Gets it back to Matt Bamford. Bamford, right foot all the way up and over the net. That netting is not there. I am concerned for the folks in the 7 Yum 6 food truck. That ball had some steam behind it. But I digress. Ott will put a right foot into one. Defensively looking down at Michael Lantry. Still on, shaken up. So the concern must not have necessarily been something that would sit him for the rest of the match, because he is out there, and we're glad that young man is all right. Lemoyne grad, once upon a time Dolphin. Now Syracuse FC is a ball inside. Ott's going to get a chance to cover that one. Love that. If this was hockey, back check from, I get a laugh from my colleague who was having that discussion before about the comparisons of ice hockey and soccer. But Dylan Killian on a real nice defensive play, sort of moving back toward his keeper, playing that one back. Ott with a chance to bomb one out of there. Flower City's Miles Palmer. Crossing for Rippey. Rippey working against Rotblatt. He will send this one all the way back for Captain Matt Bamford. Flower City taking what they are given here, working in the small spaces they're finding. Palmer, right foot, wide of the net. Ott was about 3 yards off of the line, sort of stopped in his stance there and turned. Something I am, and maybe this is naive for how talented keepers are, but I'm always impressed with that right there. The awareness and spatial awareness of a keeper to read a ball off a foot and just know, yep, that one's not coming near this net. Egan with a head of steam. Suchi breaks the triangle he had formed there and crosses one for Rippey. Rippey works against Rotblatt, gets inside. Rippey trying to get to the net. Rippey. His right foot chance goes off a defender. This heads out of play. Mikhail Sokolov was down there playing some nice D. This is going to give Flower City, by my count, their 4th corner of the evening. The last goal came from a corner kick, so halfway through the 38th minute, we'll see what Flower City can generate on another set piece. Set piece was something, pieces was something that Coach Zavaslan talked about defending tonight. A lot of respect for Coach Sullivan and his team. Bouncing ball to the net. Ott is there. Fitzgerald with an opportunity right on the doorstep. Ott with great awareness. Use that phrase with him the last few minutes a couple different times. Good positioning. Now Flower City will once again look to attack with Palmer. Palmer working against Tarantino, gets inside. Alexander battling. There's another Alexander-Lindsay battle. Alexander cross! The flying attempt from Almeida doesn't connect. Here's Alexander, wins that battle, and then this one thrown in, flying through the air. The attempt at a bicycle kick, Almeida sort of shaking off the results of that one. Corey Zanamo can't handle that throw in right there, and this will end up being a Flower City throw in. Right foot from Almeida doesn't connect, not clean anyway, and then Afune has a chance. And this will get lobbed away. Ellis will look to turn and try to get things moving up the right wing. This will get thrown in right away from Flower City, though. Across for Palmer. Ball inside for Afune, sliding stop by Sokolov. Nice defensive play. Ellis looking to turn around against Bamford. Does throw it up the wing for Zanamo. Zanamo, though, can't quite catch it. Flower City will counter. Again, working against Lindsay. Lindsay turns it on a little bit, forces a drop back. Flower City now working out of the center back spot with Elish. Left foot inside, a bouncing ball will just go right to Ott, who will control that one. And the walking pressure from Rodrigo Gomez de Almeida will force Ott to pick that one up. Fun, slow developing battle of wills there. So a ball into touch here will give Corey Zanamo an opportunity to throw in. Touches one down. Try to get Cottage going. Here's Lindsay. Lindsay shrugging off a tackler, trying to win a battle. Bamford, though, shoves, and Lindsay shoving. And this is going to be Flower City ball. Ellis on the far side in that battle. Lobbing ball through for Palmer, doesn't get in. Now Zanamo, watch this one just fly into touch past him. Everybody's pointing in a different direction. The only one that matters is the official in the blue shirt who indicates Syracuse ball. Palmer's going to look to come off the left wing. Palmer working against a pair of defenders. Sokolov, one of them. Palmer still with room. Palmer, right foot to the net. He scores! Palmer danced through a couple of defenders, got himself a clean shooting lane, and he finds the back of the net with that one. Scorches one across the turf past Ott. Ott is calling for perhaps a meeting with his troops. Here's a look at it. Right there from about 15 yards.
Scored by number 7, Miles Palmer. Made his third goal coming in the 43rd minute.
Palmer's second of the season. So Ott has his team meeting there. The Syracuse team that is not lacking for leadership. Ott certainly among them. Here's Ellis trying to work through the middle. Ellis creating a little bit of space for himself. Now a lobbing ball. He's going to try to get to Lindsay, but flag is up on the far side from where I sit. Flower City quick on the counterattack. Right edge for Nick Rippey. Rippey working against Tarantino. Throws this one across. Palmer will get another look. Palmer works inside, throws it across. This gets punted away by Katic. Katic, a Utica sophomore out of the Utica area originally. A lot of talented Central New York products on this Syracuse team against this talented team of Western New York / Finger Lakes region. Take your pick there, fellow Rochesterians here for Flower City. Egan, pair of goals already on the steal. Tries to slide that one through, just bounces it off of Aiden Day. Aiden Day and Alan Katic, Utica teammates in their college career. Xavier Ellish will work from the right back position, start things up here. The captain sends one out to the wing. Egan, right foot into the box. Almeida's down there, does get a header down. Gonna sort of softly bounce its way to Ott. Almeida was jockeying for position, found his spot. Clock is about to stop at 45. Sideline officials telling us there's 4 minutes of stoppage time.
4 minutes of stoppage time in the first half.
So 4 minutes will go here in addition to the 45 you see on your screen. The story of this first half, all Flower City. Pair of goals by Gavin Egan and a goal by Miles Palmer. Rippey. Flower City again trying to slowly generate here. Rippey found it. Maybe didn't know it was there. He tries to get inside. Suchi puts one wide for Egan. Egan's working against Lindsay. Lindsay's been very stout on this. Flower City right wing, left edge defensively. Fitzgerald. Long cross. Doesn't connect with anything but Mikhail Sokolov's head. Lobbing ball into the box. Almeida with a header. Ott's going to see this one go wide. Flower City again looking to generate a header off of a ball in. Here's a look at it. Here's this lobbing pass and the header. Ott throws his hands up knowing that one's not going to find some netting. Ott will put a right foot into one here. We are playing in stoppage time. Unofficially into the 3rd minute of what should be a 4-minute stoppage time. Palmer's going to watch this one bounce all the way into touch. Sam Rotblatt down there. Rotblatt, one of these very talented young up-and-coming players for Syracuse. One of the host of 16-year-olds on the roster and a couple in the lineup today. This is his first start of the season. Plays at West Jenny in the Syracuse area. Very talented. Speaking of talented, here's Palmer. Palmer shoved down, and a card is coming. So that gets issued very quickly from the official. So that card gets issued to Corey Zanamo. Here's a look at the play. So Palmer, American football tackled to the turf. About 25 yards away, 23 yards perhaps, by Zanamo, and a free kick will ensue here. Ellis takes his spot in the line. Palmer with his shot to the net. This is going to go wide. Palmer saw his lane through that wall, got it through a host of red shirts, but did not connect on frame. Ott will have a chance here to perhaps close out this half by sending this one downfield. 60 yards or so, connects on a header. Some contact puts Katic down as Flower City will freeze the current possession because the whistles have gone, bringing this first half to a close. And this first half, 3 goals from Flower City. That is your difference here. 3-0 Flower City Union all over Syracuse FC. One half is in the books. It is the regular season finale, but one half remains in the regular season, and we would love it if you would come back and watch us. You are watching Flower City Union, part of NPSL. Pinched way in. Flower City right now pushing to the net. Egan header, score! Welcome back to downtown Rochester, the Rochester Community Sports Complex. Regular season finale here in NPSL in the Great Lakes Conference for these two teams, Flower City Union. Here's the first goal for Flower City Union tonight. Gavin Egan with a header. And then stop me if you heard this before. The second goal of the night. Lobbing cross from the left side. Header, Gavin Egan scores. Second of the night for Egan. 2-0 your score at that point there in the 23rd minute. And then about 18 minutes later, Palmer, bang, just laces one across the turf. He picks up his second of the season, Flower City's third of the night, and there's your 3-0 score. Coming in from halftime, Flower City is making 6 changes. Calvin Cron will come on and spell Miles Palmer. Ryan Brown will come on for Nate Masucci. Alfonso Vito will come in for Nick Rippey. The brothers Rice, Dylan Rice for Gavin Egan and Gavin Rice for Rodrigo Almeida. And a new keeper this half for Flower City. Carter Cladstrup replaces Christian Burkhardt. Cladstrup had played the early part of the season, was banged up a little bit. Now we'll get a chance to finish the regular season here for Flower City. Lineup for Syracuse looks the same here for the second half. But something that Coach Zavislan was talking about, that the youth, mentioned that earlier in the broadcast, the youth that his team has, but something that they're really proud of is getting these young players the experience that they're getting. And I know there's young players that may get a chance as this second half goes on. They've had chances through this NPSL season and some on the UPSL side as this team does compete, a number of these players competing for both. So looking to close this season with some good competition as Flower City will look to keep things sharp, keep things tight as they move into a playoff matchup Tuesday as Rippey sends one into the box. Those get headed right back out of there. So new to the field, 6 Flower City players, and we will see them here as Egan will get a touch. So Egan's still on. I had mentioned he was subbed off. I had that incorrect. Lobbing ball toward the box, headed right down and out. Fune will get a touch, try to get it out to his backs. Trying to fight for it is Tajay Ellis. He sees Banford come in and send it away. So here's Rippey. A couple of these changes must be coming later in the half. Fune. Crosses it, connects with Egan. Egan looking to go inside for Palmer. Palmer tries to turn, can't quite get there. Alexander sees this one sort of slide past him, and on the clear, we're going to see a foul go against Flower City, and this will be a free kick for Syracuse. The Flower City substitutions forthcoming. Same personnel out there currently. We will get some lineup shakeups as this half progresses. The change that has happened at this point, Carter Cladstrup, Pittsford Sutherland's owned Clarkson keeper. Back between the pipes for Flower City. Rippey, long ball, connects with him on the left wing. He's working against Tarantino. Tarantino trying to keep pace with Rippey. Masucci tries to send it inside. Here's Rippey, still battling. Alexander and Rippey try to play catch, his ball's loose. But here's a left foot shot to the net. Bouncing ball down there. Ott's gonna make a save. Still a lot of contact. Almeida was in there. There's a throw in for Flower City. Here's a look at that last exchange. Bamford to the net as play goes on. And what a save at the goal mouth. Ott's down there, a header away. What action? This is insanity down there. Aiden Day with that last header as Ott was down. There's a stop. I think we're going to get a look at least some of this. Here's Flower City's Rippy. Out for Alexander. Here's Ott not handling it. And there's the header right there from Day, cleaning up at the goal line. Some fun stuff down there. So Flower City will get a free kick here from about 24 yards away. Lobbing ball to the net. Header does not connect. This is going to sail up over the top. I think Dylan Killian got a touch on that. Killian, a little familiarity with Rochester, played some at Nazareth College. Nazareth University, says the Nazareth College grad once upon a time. Shout out to the Golden Flyers. Corner kick for Flower City. First of the half. 5th of the afternoon. Bouncing ball into the box. This is going to get kind of laced out of there. Ball into the box. Header from Bamford. This is up in the air. Ott's going to come up and just steal that one. Now Ott's going to just bully one with his right arm downfield. So a bevy of substitutes are lined up down at midfield for Flower City. We will see that lineup change coming up. I got out a little early, but it is on the way. Here's Bamford working against a pair of defenders. Nice touch ball to the net from Alexander. This is going to result in a corner for Flower City. So there are 6 substitutions preparing to enter for Flower City. As Palmer will put a right foot into this corner. This is produced for Flower City tonight. Once, Palmer to the box, bounces out and through. This is going to be a goal kick. And now here come the troops. 5 substitutes and a 6th will join them. Coming for Flower City. A lot of clapping, a lot of well-earned clapping. Almeida coming off, Rippy coming off. Masucci coming off. Egan with his pair of goals coming off. Captain Bamford puts the band on the entering Dylan Rice. He will wear the captain band for the remainder of this one. Bamford off, Masucci off, Egan off, Rippy off, Almeida off. The brothers Rice, Vito, Brown, Cron, Klestrup, and Harrington all now on the pitch for Flower City. And Lindsay pressures up the left wing on the ensuing startup. So very different looking lineup here for Flower City. Calvin Cron can't control that one. So here's Vito. Vito's going to play this back to his center back. Staying in their Xavier Elish, he sends one ahead. Here's Elish once again. He sends a long ball across for Vito. Vito, an Aquinas product locally, playing his ball at Geneseo, and a corner kick gets generated out of this one. Flower City with a corner, Vito, right hand in the air. Ball lobbing across the box is gonna get just headed away. Cleared out where Ryan Brown will get his first touch of the afternoon. Rice into the box, headed away. Again, Syracuse, they're getting backed up, but there is a bend, don't break. Flower City has found their way through a trio of times. But the Salt City, if I may use a term familiar with some Flower City fans, they've put up a wall when they've had to. Here's a nice touch and take. Brought out of there and sent away by Sokolov. This is just going to get thrown into space, where Kladstrup will come up and get a touch. Ryan Brown, St. John Fisher is a first-team Empire 8 player. Fitzgerald out of Naz, sends it inside. Rice. Nice touch, nice ball. Here's Brown. Brown, it shot to the net. Knocked down by Ott. Ott just kind of stabs that one. It's taken by Lindsay. Lindsay sees this one taken back by Flower City. Far side from where I sit. Brown, cross the goal mouth. This gets bounced out of there by Tarantino. Ellis trying to create a little bit of space for himself. He runs past Ellis from Flower City. Ellis has had a nice first half and now into the 57th minute here. St. Bonaventure. Bonnie. Lovely name, Bonnie. Ball into the box. Bicycle-y. Bicycle-y? Not a word, but I'll go with it. Sent out of there by Aiden Day. Aiden Day has made a pair of dynamite defensive plays inside the penalty area. One right near the goal line. Here's a shot to the net. Score! He's wearing the captain band. He's one of the most experienced players on this Flower City team. He comes off the bench and buries it. Dylan Rice. Dylan Rice picks up his 5th of the season. Here's a look. This was on the heels of a real nice clear out from Day a moment prior. Boom, right there. Bouncing ball to the back of the net.
Union goal, scored by number 19, Gavin Rice. Union's 4th goal for him in the 58th minute.
So Rice picks up the goal. Flower City looking to build on that yet again. Here's a Fune, long ball over the top, not connecting with Harrington. Oop, said that too soon. Harrington, this goes into touch. Flower City will maintain possession. Ball across for Vito. Vito working with Cron to his right. Mifune is going to lob one into the box. Headed out of there. Another nice play by Day. Ellis trying to win a race. Does get there before Fitzgerald. Ellis creating a little bit of space for himself. Ellis trying to cross it. Does get it there. Shot to the net. Kladstrup is going to hold on to that one. Kotic got in there. Got a right foot on one. Rice trying to work through a couple of defenders. Hits the turf, stays up, sent out of there by Zenamo. Calvin Cron will keep possession for Flower City. Sends one for Vito, but doesn't get it there. So a bouncy exchange. Here's a look at the last goal, one last time. This is going to end up as a Rice to Rice. That's what I wanted to see. Gavin Rice for Dylan Rice. Nice touch, brother to brother. That's a fun one right there. Vito to the net. This is going to go wide. Thanks to producer extraordinaire in the command center for queuing that one up for me. Joel, a gentleman, a scholar, and a professional, all in one. He also wears a lot of hats. He and I both have very strong traps. Ott will get a chance to send this one out of there. Ball bounces up over the top of a host of players, including Lindsay. Now a ball up and in. Flower City not connecting there. Coming away with it was Sokolov. He throws it all the way back. This is going to get on the foot of Calvin Cron. Long attempt from Ryan Brown. Collected on an offside. Gavin Rice. Shout out to their cousin, Hilton's own Coach Rice out there. If not watching, catching up later. Rice brothers contributing here in the second half of this one. We are playing in the 52nd minute. 4-0 your scores. Flower City leads. Oh, and a bicycle-y, I used that word before, attempt from Zenamo to get it into space for Ellis. Didn't quite connect. Ball got all the way to Kladstrup, who will get it away. Something that Coach Zavislan was talking to me about, the pride he's got in this group. And I've mentioned multiple times the youth that's out there, but the great experience that they're getting and playing at a league of this caliber against players of this caliber, just growing. Flower City trying to attack inside off the left edge. Growing some of these players as high schoolers. We're getting experience here against college-age players and graduates, men who've seen the field for a long time. So they're real proud of what they have and what's to come as Flower City continues to try to sharpen things for Tuesday's playoff matchup. And a long ball is going to go to Ott, who's going to perhaps a little melodrama there. I like that showmanship to dive out and send that one away. Or not send it away and ensure this goal kick, I should say. So as we came out of halftime, saw a score down the 90. Buffalo Stallions were leading Ambassadors 1-0. That game plays a role in the ensuing playoff matchups. Flower City, Ambassadors, RNY are all in. playing for the 4th spot are Erie and Cleveland. Where everything falls is to be determined by those games. Flower City potentially could have a matchup with any of those teams, kind of depending on how things go tonight. So we will see where it all falls. A couple Ohio teams and a couple of Rochester, New York teams will do battle in the Great Lakes playoffs coming up. Here's Cron. Cron working in. Found himself a little bit of room, maybe surprise himself with it. Now this should be a goal kick, and it will be, yes. Cron sort of feinted one way and got the defender to move there. Created a lane for himself. Cron won a sectional title with Bishop Kearney here back a couple of years ago. Now has taken his talents to Damon College out in the Buffalo area. Real nice, loud crowd. The stands in front of my position beneath the broadcast booth. Nice crowd here today. Great support for Flower City Union here at the end of the regular season. And if you're hearing this, I would encourage everybody, if you get the opportunity to come out to the playoff matchup next week, big support for Flower City would be fantastic. They've had it all season as we get into postseason play. The only thing better than soccer is playoff soccer. Perhaps a line you'll hear me start the broadcast with Tuesday night. Not to give anything away from my own little toolbox there. Here's Tarantino trying to work inside. Tarantino, nice little move. Working against 2 defenders. Tarantino does get shoved off the ball. Tarantino hustling to catch back up. It's one of those really young kids. Here's a ball back. This is going to get played by Ott. Killiam's pass back to his keeper, maybe just a touch hotter than he wanted. So here's a look at that. Just a little sort of soft touch, but it angles poorly, or angles strangely, as far as Ott was concerned. As Flower City will regroup. Nice little touch to Rice from Afune. Now Ellis looking to generate. Ellis has worked inside the defense. Can he get himself into a spot to shoot it? He does. Shot saved by Kladstrup. Jay Ellis, a steady contributor to this Syracuse team all season. His coach singing his praises earlier in the evening as we were chatting about this. Just showed how dangerous he can be. Now whistle will give Syracuse possession here. 67 minutes have passed in this one. 4-0 your score. Sun is setting in the latter quarter or so of this game. Not a term we use in soccer, but we'll go with it. And on the regular season, last 3 matchups in the conference happening right now. One of them right here in front of you. One down the road in Buffalo, run down the road the other way in Erie. This Great Lakes Conference, really you could give it the title of the I-90 Conference, really. Hato Afune finds Rice. Dylan Rice, the goal scorer, over the top for his brother Gavin, who set up the goal before. Ott will roll one off to his side. Michael Lantry was on that last defensive touch. Done a solid job on that back line tonight for Syracuse. A couple of clunky touches will keep the ball with Syracuse. Aforementioned Lantry trying to come up that left wing. Ball gets punched away. Rice will have some room for Flower City. Throws it up for Vito. Vito's going to have a lot of running room and a lane to work with here. Vito getting back. Vito to his right, still with it. Rice is going to watch this get sort of popped up over his head and back to his left back, Cron. Cron and Elish will sort of watch things develop here. Brown over the top, inside for Ifune, shot to the net, is gonna get stopped by Ott. Flower City's gonna get another corner kick. I believe this is the third of the half. Here's a look at how that play developed. Here's Brown's ball over the top right there. Ifune does get a little bit of it through some defense. And the corner will come from Flower City. I believe that's Rice down there. This appears to be Gavin Rice. Right foot, ball toward the net, headed away with some force. Dylan Rice will settle it. And just left footing it into touch. Tarantino will just reset things. Throw in here will come from Harrington. Ellis looked to sort of jump a pass there. Almost took it the length of the field. Alexander sent it wide. Pushing and shoving far side of where I'm sitting. Syracuse Lindsay was battling down there. And this appears to be water break time. So a hydration break. There it is. I am paid to do this, so professional announcer. Getting those syllables out. You get out of your seat, stretch, get yourself some hydration, but come back and watch the rest of this one. You are watching the NPSL.
Here at the Rochester Community Sports Complex, will take place from Monday through Wednesday.
Players are back on the pitch. We hope you're back. We hope you are back wherever you are watching this. Of course, if you're hearing me give you that instruction, I'm assuming you are. Flower City Union hosting Syracuse FC. This is the final of the regular season here for both of these clubs here in the Great Lakes Conference of the NPSL's Midwest region. NPSL playoffs coming your way next week. Rochester's Flower City Union will go into early next week. Game could fall on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. A lot of the unknowns in the schedule tonight will play a role in when that game is played. Make sure fans out there stay tuned to social media and the interwebs and all of the things where you will see when that game gets played. But Flower City Union will be the 1 seed. They have clinched that. Their opponent still to be determined based on the outcomes of the other 2 games going on tonight. Cleveland and Erie, Buffalo and Ambassadors all playing right now. We'll see how those results affect Flower City's playoff season going forward. Syracuse here looking to finish the season on a strong note, on a organized, collective growth of a feeling. Again, a team that has taken great strides and have had some real proud moments. Looking to end their season here on a high note, as they do compete in a couple of different leagues. Looking to end their NPSL season on as high note as they can. This long ball will get back for Cron, who will send this one wide for Elish. Flower City working off that right wing again. Out for Brown. Brown for Afune. Afune, nice touch to collect it. Gets a shot. Nice save by Ott. Ott with a hammer of a line drive that heads over to his left and out of play. Nice little touch from Cottage to keep possession down there. Now the ball doesn't quite touch Ellis as this gets over for Flower City's Cron, who will look to work through some space. He's got a little real estate to run through. Alexander touches inside, finds Rice. Rice set up the last goal to his brother. And a trip in the box is going to result in a corner kick. Harrington got taken to the fake grass. Corner kick for Flower City will generate from the far side of my position. Driven out of there. Oh, and a giveaway. Here comes Ellis. Ellis with a head of steam. Trying to catch up to him is Cron. Cron and Ellis will battle here. Ellis, touch inside. He's got no one there following him. He outran everyone. Ellis will send one for Alexander, who will work against Cottage. Flower City in no hurry here, playing these through their backs. Center back will get one ahead to Brown. Trying to turn there was Rice. Looking for his second. Fune will cross it to Alexander. Rice. Outside. Harrington. Harrington trying to work in. Nice defensive play down there. This is going to give Flower City another corner kick. Aiden Day had the defensive play down there. Aiden Day set all kinds of records at Central Valley Academy, playing his high school days, playing at Utica now, has had a real nice game here. A couple of exciting plays, an exciting header. Alexander up over the top. Ott is down on the turf. I don't know if he's shaken up or just adjusting his knee pad. Here's a look at it. The corner comes in. Lobbing ball. And a nice header attempt from Chase Alexander. Ott will get the goal kick here. Playing up in the 80th minute here, 4-0 your score. Flower City with 3 first-half goals. 1 this half off the toe of Dylan Rice. Dylan Rice comes off the bench, scores his 5th of the season, 2nd on this Flower City team this year. NPSL season winding down all across the country. All of the regions, separate conferences, having their last regular season matchups. Playoffs coming up soon. This Great Lakes season, regular season wrapping up here. And as any sports fan would want it, positioning and matchups, playoff, postseason, all of it hinges on the last day. A couple of teams are established as playoff teams. Really only one seat at the table still available, but who plays who next week, all still up in the air based on what happens this evening. Ball over the top for Vito. Vito's running inside. Vito takes a shove from Ellis. Good defensive positioning from Jay Ellis. This will just get bombed out of play by Ott, and a throw will come for Flower City. Coach Sullivan talked about staying mentally locked in through today's game, no matter what the outcome, no matter what the road was, whether this was, a situation like they see themselves here 4-0 in the 82nd minute, or if this was tighter or even on the losing end. Coach Sullivan talked about no matter the situation, as a ball crossed into the box, goes into Ott's hands. Coach Sullivan talked about just staying locked in for today. Obviously, a lot depends on today across the division, as I've talked about a couple different times. Whoever we play next, we will keep to our core principles, and those were things that he was talking about working on today. Finishing chances, taking lots of chances, but also working within the system they've established, and they've worked real well, especially in recent days. Again, a couple of shutouts the last couple games. Prior to that, the only loss of the season to a really good Rochester, New York FC team. That pair of Rochester derbies this season, both ending in 2-1 finals. One way, one the other. As I've mentioned a couple of different times, it was fun hearing the pride both of these coaches have, Coach Sullivan, Coach Zavaslan. They both have respect for each other and each other's teams. Ball in to the net. Shot just misses. A sliding Afune. Little low 5 of appreciation from Ott down there. Here's a look at that play as it came together. Here's Rice. And then right through right there. Ifune's slide doesn't quite connect with it. Ott will get another chance to unload on one here and get play started. You see all the players this time of year going in this direction, left to right on your scoreboard, your screen. All the players are looking into the sun, so you see that setting sun. You see a lot of hands in the air. Flower City going right to left this half. In the white and lilac, the red and black of Syracuse. Nice color matchup. I'm always into the color matchups. Didn't mention that earlier, but I do enjoy this one. Lindsay with a touch. Lindsay with some control, middle of the pitch. Trying to run away from a chasing Brown. But now Rice will get a chance to start things up again for Flower City with Harrington now on the right wing. Ball bounces off of Harrington. This is going to get run out of there by Aiden Day. Day with a nice move and hurdles the Flower City defender. And now a 2-on-2 break here for Syracuse perhaps. Inside for Day. Day's going to get a shot to the net and is going to skitter wide. Best scoring chance for Syracuse in the last bit, but a real nice chance. Look at that play by Aiden Day. Player of the match for Syracuse, in my humble opinion. Here's the ball in. There it is right there. And Day gets a real nice touch on it around Flower City's Cron. So Lantry on the far side from where I sit. He'll try to work it today. Day on the heels of that last scoring chance. And here comes Syracuse trying to generate one more time for Day. Day's not going to quite get there. Gets shoved. Day is down. Took a body there from Xavier Ellis. Here it is. Day coming, and then there's the collision. Day takes the worst of that one. Clicking at 86 minutes here. 4 minutes till we reach stoppage time. Free kick coming for Syracuse from about 30 yards out. So a difficult spot here. Kladstrup is standing in a shadow, but now moves to his left. He's in the shadow of one of the light fixtures, but the ball is going to come from his right side. Ball bouncing to the net. Kladstrup's just going to see that one right in. Tajay Ellis was able to get that one on frame with some velocity. Vito tries to play one through. Cross from Ifune. Does get all the way there. Brown outside for Vito. Vito's going to come to the edge of the box. To the front of the net. Cross there. Does not connect with Flower City's Alexander. Flower City still playing their game here, trying to set up chances. Here it is, Vito. That ball in just shy of where Alexander could do something with it with a header. So Jordan Ott will pop this one out of there. Midfield headers will bounce this one around, turning goal scorer Dylan Rice. Rice works his way around Lindsay. There's Brown. Brown has it touched away, but it's get taken right back by Cron. Cron out for Vito. Vito again is going to work from some space on the left side. Tries to fire it through. Ellis with a nice defensive play. Cron for St. Bonaventure's own Xavier Ellish. Oh, and a header. Doesn't get all the way through from Vito. You hear a collective "oh" from the crowd as that ball was loose. And who's there to clean it up but Aiden Day? Change coming here for Syracuse. Here's a look at that last exchange.
Checking the game for Syracuse FC.
So sub coming on for Syracuse here in the 90th minute. That'll get bounced out of there.
The stop sign was kept down the field by the officials against the stop at the 90-minute mark. And stop sign was kept down the field by the officials.
Sam Hepler, Syracuse FC Academy, another one of these young 16-year-olds, a player that Coach Zavisland real proud of in his development. He's had opportunities to work against some really talented collegiate and post-collegiate level players. Now a little bit of a chance here brewing for Syracuse. Killiam got it outside. Now here's a ball wide, edge of the box. Trying to get through, but it gets cleaned up. Fitzgerald wasn't really giving. Now a left foot doesn't get all the way through, and this will get sent away by Union. And that's going to do it. So nothing in terms of stoppage time, or very little. And your final here on a hot evening. You see a couple of exhausted players out there, and that is just evidence of a hard-fought, competitive game. That 4-0 score giving away less competitiveness than maybe was out on the field. But Flower City comes out on top 4-0. A pair of first-half headers sent home by Gavin Egan. Miles Palmer follows up in the first half with Flower City's third of the first. They go to halftime 3-0. Dylan Rice comes off the bench and scores his 5th of the year. And Flower City takes this one 4-0. That ends the regular season. Now the next step for Flower City will be a playoff matchup early next week. The opponent, not known. That game will be right here from the Rochester Community Sports Complex. Flower City is the 1 seed. They have won the title. They're the champs of the Great Lakes Conference here. But we will know who their opponent is in that one coming up in probably in just a couple of hours. A couple games going on tonight will determine who plays who and when. But Flower City will close out the regular season number 1 seed, and they will head their way into the playoffs. Gavin Egan with a pair of goals. Gets the winner with that first one in the 10th minute for Flower City. The other side loved the game today from Aiden Day. He gets my unofficial Syracuse player of the game, but Syracuse, a great battle. A lot of energy, a lot of great athletes out there. As you see the crowd taking the pitch, something that Coach Jordan Sullivan and I talked about today, I wanted to put into this point in the game right here as we finish things up. So one of the things he's proud of is the way that his team, how good they are with each other, how good they are with the fans, with the public. You see this circle right here, this communal sort of finish right there, and there are young fans in that circle. You see coaches and staff. You see some of the youth players and ball boys that come around. It's a great bond with this team, and it shows in the record. Flower City ends the regular season 8-1-1. 1 loss, 1 draw, and 8 wins in there. They will head into early next week. The number 1 seed in the playoffs. Folks, I will have that with you. We will have that game next week. If you can't come down here to the stadium and check that one out, please give a watch. Watch some NPSL playoff action wherever you are watching this right now. Wherever you are, I want to thank you. On behalf of Joel over here in the control room, can't do anything without him pushing the buttons in the command center. I am Bill Smith. I have done all of your talking today, and you have watched Flower City Union defeat Syracuse FC 4-0 in the regular season finale here as you've watched NPSL. Good night.